Hey there, true believers. We're back. This is James Heyer and Enrique Ramirez.
Hello.
And today we're reading Tales of Suspense featuring Iron Man and Captain America, issue number 80. This one is about Captain America, he who holds the cosmic cube.
Oh, didn't they make a movie about this?
I think so. I think there was a movie about a Captain America, and he was friends with a Red Skull, and together they shared the cosmic cube. I think that's kind of how that went.
To empower the world and
With love
make.
and cookies. And
Yeah, that's
puppies.
right. They used the
there
cube.
was a lot of puppies
Yes,
in that movie.
they used the cube to heat the oven for the cookies.
Yes.
Gotta
What a
go for some
wonderful
cookies
movie.
right
What type? Snickerdoodle? I do like Snickerdoodle.
now. Any cookie's good to me.
My God. Well, one thing we do want to thank you guys. We had last I checked, we had almost 40 hits, which is pretty nice. Thanks, guys, for listening. We're really.
I mean, for just telling our friends about it and 40, I've got 600 YouTube friends,
Yeah.
and maybe 40 of them combined.
Yeah.
But between us, there's like maybe 1,000 or more of our friends, and 40 of them listened.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
So we know
I mean,
who our
that's a
real
good-
friends are, and it shows who watched. So thank you, real friends.
Thank you. Yeah, one thing I do want to go over as I was listening to our last episode is that I do want to make a correction. Last time I said that Artie Simek was a penciler. What I meant to say was letterer. Letterer is what I meant.
Did we get a lot of
penciler-
calls and emails about that?
No. I don't think anyone gives a shit. But a penciler would be like Jack Kirby, the guy who actually draws or pencils the characters.
We're gonna get so much hate mail now.
Probably.
And by the way, I just did a YouTube check. 38 views.
38?
Boom.
Man,
That's
it just keeps going
real.
up.
Yeah. Oh my! I'm so excited.
Well, one thing we do here if you're tuning in for the first time, what we do is we take published fan mail written to Marvel Comics from the 1960s and 70s. We might go to 80s. And we read them aloud and discuss them. This is the only place on the internet where we do this, where anyone does this.
Nobody better steal it either, because I'll be pissed. Because it's a good idea, James. It's coming from
Thank
you.
you.
Wow.
It might be the only good idea I've ever had in my life.
Idiot savant, I think, is the word.
Yeah, I think
Or
that would
words.
be about right. So anyway, we've just had another Comic Book Wednesday, I believe.
Yes.
Since our last episode.
Yes.
Did you partake?
I did not, but I know I've got a hold over at Prairie Dog, and they're holding the Batman for me. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, awesome team. If you're not reading the new 52 Batman, you're an idiot.
One thing I do.
I am sad though today because also is the last issue of the Frankenstein Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
Agent of
really?
S.H.I.E.L.D. They ended that.
Okay. One thing I do want to bring up is it Agent of what?
Or I'm sorry, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent of Shade. Wow.
You
Well, we're
dork.
looking at Captain America
know.
here,
You-
and that screwed me up.
No, that's fine. I couldn't remember what it was, so I was actually just asking.
We're gonna get calls and emails.
No,
Damn
we're
it.
not. One thing I also wanted to bring up, speaking of New 52 and speaking of Frankenstein Agent of Shade, is we really we were kind of talking about the New 52 last week, and we brought up the superheroes that everyone knows. We were talking about Batman and Flash and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And how good they were, but we really forgot to even mention the best ones are not the superhero ones.
Oh, I agree.
Like Frankenstein Agent of Shade is amazing. I think the best one is All-Star Comics.
Oh, yeah.
All-Star Western.
Oh yeah.
Which is really good. Really good Western comic. There's also
Animal Man. I got really
Animal
into
Man's
that.
really
yeah.
good. Swamp Thing's pretty good. It took me a while with Swamp Thing.
Uh-huh.
I know some people say he's a superhero or whatever, but like he's kind of
Not your typical
on the fence,
superhero.
yeah.
He's not pretty boy superhero. He's
No.
dark.
But yeah, I mean, really, and I think even to a lesser extent, well, or actually maybe more to an extent, Marvel is kind of the same way nowadays. I think even though like everyone's superhero happy with the movies, like I mean, really as far as comics are kind of the better qualities of stuff is really getting away from superheroes, and I think that's just inevitable. I mean, these like how many years can we like keep fucking up Captain America's storylines?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, or Batman or whatever.
Right.
And you know, I think the classics have already been told, and every now and then you'll get a new classic. But really, I mean, right now where it's at is really with the off-colored ones. Marvel does something kind of neat. They have a series where they do literature, or American, or not American, but old literature in the form of comics. So you have Dracula, you have like Little Women or Pride and Prejudice, like just all these classic novels written as a graphic novel, which is really kind of neat.
Very interesting. I might have to read Pride and Prejudice, but after the Marvel.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, what other DC New 52s do you like?
Those are the ones I really enjoy right now.
Because you're really you're a lot
Yeah,
bigger.
I'm trying to get more into it, and like I can't spit off names and pencilers and artists. The ones I know are the ones I like. Like Capullo, Greg Capullo is really good. I'm really into his art. I was into his art.
Is he?
He did Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, Spawn. I had a Spawn phase, and he did all the art for Spawn. And then I saw that he was doing the Batman New 52, and that's really the main reason I picked it up for his artwork. I love his artwork. And then Scott, I actually heard I loved his storyline with the the owls, and I listened to a podcast that Kevin Smith interviewed him, and it sounds really weird of me to say, but I fell in love with him. I think he's a really cool guy, and just his background. And then now I'm going to be a true follower of his work. So I really like his stuff.
That's good. That's good. I definitely want to get back into buying a comic every Wednesday. That does make me sad that it's the last Frankenstein.
I know. Well, I'm hoping they'll bring him back every once in a while, and just in other forms.
So why are they still calling it the New 52 if they keep canceling or making new ones? I mean, what are they? They're either like the new 49 or maybe they're the new 63.
Well, they keep coming up with other ones. I know there's like a Black Lightning comic book, and I've seen some other things. I can't remember the names right now. They'll end one, but they'll start another. So, like, I'd like to see more Dead Man.
Yes.
The first couple were pretty good, and I kind of got lost with the story, but I'd like to see that pick up. But it was more of an origins. I think they had maybe a 6-issue comic of him, but it mainly dealt with his origin, and I'd like to see him do more.
If you like Dead Man, you should really go back if you ever get a chance, and just at least look at some of the Neil Adams Dead Man. And Neil Adams, I think, is probably the best comic book artist of all, like ever. I mean, there's some others that come pretty close, but I mean, he did the stuff with Batman and Ra's al Ghul in the 70s, and he's really good. Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get back to the New 52. Another thing that strikes me, and this is kind of the way it's been with the comic book industry for a while now, is they get people excited about buying these comics, which I still think are overpriced. Like, what are they, like $3?
$2.99 for most.
For something
some
that,
are $3.99.
I mean, the art's fun to look at, but really, as far as storyline, like you can read these things in 5 minutes.
Right.
Then it's like, do I read it again? I mean,
well, I have a friend, and hopefully we'll get him on the show. He's a really cool guy. I didn't know he was a comic book geek until we bumped into each other. I always worked with him. And then I go to Prairie Dog Comics, and I'm sitting there looking for what I want, and he walks in. I'm like, what the hell is this guy?
Are you talking about...
we'll call him George for now. But
George.
I'd love to get him
who
on
you're
here because
talking about,
he's a big Superman
fan. We need to get him.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
He's a cool guy. I talk to him every once in a while about comics. I was like, what's going on with Superman? He's like, well, it's been almost 2 years since it's came out. He hasn't read one yet. What his plan is, what he told me is, he'll read them all at once one day.
Wow.
Yeah, which is like me. I'll get it and I'll read it like.
Well, and you know, and that's the thing. They keep coming out with these comics, but then eventually they cannibalize themselves by like at the end of the year, it's like buy a reprint book already.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, okay, I'll just wait till the end of the year to do that.
Well, they did that with the new 52, but
Yeah.
I still like having. You know, there's still kind of the fun part. There's one side of me. It's like this is going to be a collector's item, and then I'll read it and I'll, you know, fold it up, put it in a bag and a board, and I'll pack it away, never to look at it again until maybe 5 years, or to show my friends, hey, look what I got.
It's fun to do that.
It
really
is, it is.
And I mean, you have 2 daughters,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, they might go through that stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, my 12-year-old's getting into comic books. I'll pick her up in Adventure Time or
really?
Marceline comic book, so she's getting into that. She's really cool. She's into stuff like that. She's not into the Justin Bieber junk, and so she's hopefully
The
she'll take
2-year-old not so cool.
Yeah, not so cool. Well, she likes Adventure Time as well. She'll sit and
that's
watch that. So, but yeah, hopefully
I'm
she'll.
just kidding. Your 2-year-old is cool.
You did meet her once.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Basically, what this is, and just to kind of go over Tales of Suspense. A lot of these comics prior to when superheroes started picking up with Marvel, because I mean, Marvel really didn't have any superheroes for a long time until Fantastic Four came out in 1961. And what happened was that picked up. So a lot of their old magazines. They did in the 50s, which was way more popular than superheroes. They did a lot of horror stories, westerns, you know, just a variety of pulp magazine stuff. So they took a lot of these comics like Tales of Suspense, which was largely like horror and science fiction and stuff, and they started sticking superheroes in. And when they started getting popular, they started to frontline these, and it got to the point where Tales of Suspense was Captain America and Iron Man. It was a Captain America story followed by an Iron Man story.
And that's where Iron Man came from, wasn't it? His
He
origin.
came from Tales of Suspense.
Okay.
He came from Tales of Suspense. Captain America had been around. He's one of Marvel's few old, really, really old superheroes. He's been around since World War II, but most of them came out in the 60s with Stan Lee. But Iron Man was really, he came out in Tales of Suspense, and he kind of picked up a little bit. But here we go. We're going to start reading the mail.
And it's got a funny name.
It does. It's Males of Suspense.
And Males is spelled M-A-I-L-S, not
Yes.
M-A-L-E-S.
Yes, so cool. It's not as exciting as you probably think. Here's the first one. This is from Edward Rippey from LaRue Bernard. He's from France.
We got a frog
fuck?
here. And he's reading Captain America?
Oui, monsieur. Yeah, reading. He could be reading Iron Man.
Okay.
He could. You never know, because he could be like Captain America, Pierre, Iron Man, you know. But here we go. Dear Stan, I would like to congratulate you and your entire staff. I'm not doing this whole thing in a bad French accent.
Okay.
But I would like to congratulate you and your entire staff on the quality of your comics. They are well plotted, well drawn, and well lettered. I know you've had countless readers telling you this, so I won't go into it. But what I really wanted to talk about was this innovator business. To innovate is to sap the energy out of, but your innovator did just the opposite. I suggest that Stan ask Santa Claus for... Wow, this guy's weird. I suggest that Stan ask Santa Claus for a copy of Funk and Wagnall's Next Christmas. What the...
I think it's a dictionary.
Okay.
Someone screwed up.
I thought you'd like to know what... I thought you'd like to know that when the bookstore got a new shipment of Marvels this month, I immediately bought every one. Oui.
I hate people that do that. I hate people that do that, by the way.
What's that?
Go into a comic book store and buy them all.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. So
Fuck
this
him.
guy...
Fuck him and his baguettes. Oh, oh, Spider-Man.
And how did old Stan respond?
Really, Ed? Well, we hope your bookstore received an order. I don't know why I'm giving a southern accent. Received an order of thousands. As for the word innervator, perhaps we can wiggle out of it this way. Our innervator does sap the energy out of things, out of the molecules in the air, and then it directs that self-same energy to wherever Shellhead wants it. What? C'est la guerre, mon ami.
I like how Stan gives it right back to him.
Just
Apparently,
to,
we missed an issue.
God, I guess. Just to go over, Shellhead is what they refer to Iron Man a lot.
Iron Man, okay.
Sort of like Spider-Man is Webhead.
Uh-huh. Is that one of those weird things that they say? Like,
Yeah.
we talked about that last
Yeah,
week.
where they just call everyone the same thing. I
Yeah.
think.
Funny boy or what was it?
The best one is Captain America. Hawkeye keeps calling him Winghead because he has two wings on his helmet. Hey, there's a Winghead.
Can you get your ass kicked by Captain America if you call him that? I would think.
I would think.
There should be one issue where he just whips
Just
his ass.
Finally, just can't take it anymore. He starts listening to Clash. Oh, I'm so bored in the USA. Starts beating people up. That would be a good issue.
That would be. You should write it. Too bad I can't draw.
Too bad I can't write. All right, well, it's your turn.
All right, here we go. Another one to Stan here from Gilbert Mazur, and he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I had to write about the last few issues of Tales of Suspense. He uses an exclamation point. Oh, he's excited. Issue 72 was very good. The art wasn't too exceptional on Iron Man, but Captain America made up for it. Issue 73 was even better. No offense to Don, but Gene Colan is he made up a word here. Is perfect. Pluperfect for Iron Man. As for 74, great. Never was there such a perfect cover. The art on Iron Man was excellent, but how neurotic it would be to kill Happy just because he knows that Iron Man is Tony Stark.
Oh, my God.
Don't kill Happy, and don't let him remain a monster. You're turning Iron Man into a patent place, just like Spidey is. Suspense number 5 was magnificent. The full-page perfect of Pepper feigning on page 8 was very well done. Let Cat keep meeting Batroc. Boy, I know why this book is called Suspense. Will the city be annihilated? So,
just to go over some things, Happy is the name of his chauffeur.
Okay.
Who's played by Jon Favreau,
yeah.
who also directed the movies.
Okay. So,
that's the other thing.
how can you
don't really realize Iron Man did not reveal his identity, I think, until maybe just before the movie or just after in the comics. See, Iron Man in the movie is a very different character than he was in the comics. Everything Robert Downey Jr. did tremendously helped that character. Because if you really read Iron Man, he really was kind of a douche, not a likable douchebag like Robert Downey Jr., just a flat-out douchebag. Basically, just to go over this, in the movies, he gets taken to that cave in Afghanistan. He's tortured. He sees soldiers being killed, and he realizes that his weapons he realizes the gravitas of being a weapons manufacturer, that he is killing all these people out there, and he basically becomes Iron Man as his penance. Well, in the comics, keep in mind it's the 60s, so he's like in Korea or Vietnam or something. And after he becomes Iron Man, he kills all those people and then uses his intelligence and powers to become a superhero to stop communism. If you remember on the Avengers movie, the Shield helicarrier.
Yeah.
They might have referenced that they used a lot of Stark's technology. I
Yeah.
don't remember. If they
I
did or
think
not.
so.
Well, in the comics, he actually built it for them. He's like an Uncle Sam go-getter in the comic. He's a very different character, and they really improved his character a lot.
So they gave him some balls in his character in the Robert Downey Jr.
They made him likable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he was really just, yeah. But anyway, go on.
Well, let's see how Stan responds. Here's Stan, or someone that wrote it for Stan. As you certainly know by now, Gil, the city still stands. Ta 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 ta. That's what he wrote. That's what he wrote. As for us having Cap continue to meet bombastic Batroc, is that Batroc? Is that right?
Fuck if I know.
We can't do it every ish, pal. The poor guys would be sure to run out of small talk after a while. But as usual, when you least expect it, watch out. I didn't embellish that at all.
No, I mean, I've never seen so many exclamation points in any sort of prose I've ever written. Here we go. Here's the next one. Dear Stan, I just got through reading Suspense number 75, and all I can say is, wow. Gene and Curry are really groovy. Are a really groovy team for Iron Man. But Captain America, you guys have got to be kidding. Dick and John are two of your best artists. But for a CA strip, let's see, and it continues on the next page. What happened to...
Wait for it. Wait for it.
What happened to Jack Kirby and Frank Ray? They really had that strip going. Then Dick Ayers took a crack at it. Then, of all people, George Tuska took over Captain America. Then, in the next dish, Jolly Joe Sonnet took over the inks.
Is that an insult?
I don't know. This perked up the strip quite a bit. Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment, okay.
When the next dish came along, old George had it all to himself again. Now you guys just cut that out. Captain America is one of the best is the best in my book. The stories and characters are great, but bring back Kirby and Ray. And if they don't have time to do it, get Jazzy Johnny Bonita, or Johnny Ramita, sorry, in the name of Irving Forbush. This is MMS member 10706 signing off.
Who is
Bill Kirchner from Mount Clemens, Michigan.
Wow. Is that like some code or something?
I have no idea.
What's MMMS member? Wow.
I have no. Who is it?
Send us an email, or
I guess I don't know my. Is that
make a comment
person?
on our YouTube? Tell us what the hell that is.
I thought I was good with history, but I have no idea who Irving Forbush is. By the way, just to go over with Captain America is usually written by Jack Kirby, and the Iron Mans and Tales for Suspense, they kind of switch off and on between the other writers.
People are very passionate about who writes and who's the artist on their comic books.
Yeah.
They love them.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, I'd be kind of ticked if they changed the artist on Batman, but I know that's going to happen. And they're going to do it, but hopefully they'll switch to something else and make that better.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes a change in artist is good. An example, and this guy, Bill, brings up Jazzy Johnny Ramita. That guy in the late 60s took over Spider-Man from Steve Ditko, and it was a very different comic then. But it was amazing. I mean, it's really tough to decide between, when you look at Spider-Man, it's really tough to like, everyone's favorite artist out of all of them is either going to be Steve Ditko or John Romita. And Steve Ditko is more quirky, just more off the wall, just very, very different style. But then John Romita brings it around, grounds it, and then they kind of explore more of the soap opera stuff. Whereas before it was a little more experimental.
Okay.
But they're both just amazing. I have a tough time picking. I think I actually prefer Romita, but But then when I read a Ditko, I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I prefer Ditko. But anyway, let's see what old Smiling Stan writes. And in the name of Mary Marty Goodman, you got your wish, Billy. Jolly Jack himself is back penciling the sensational saga of our star-spangled swinger. And we just slightly suspected that Cap's action-packed adventures have never been better.
I wish I had this guy's job.
Yeah. Me too. All right.
All right.
You're up
There
next.
you go. Next one. Dear Stan, this is actually from Richard Kundari, and he's from Port Reading, New Jersey. He writes, Dear Stan, one day I told my math teacher that I could compute well with the number 12 because I bought a lot of comics, and that comics cost 12 cents.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a huge change
Gone
from
quite
today.
a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a-
He asked what brand I bought, and I told him, Marvel. He said that he thought that Marvel had gone out of business years ago. The next day, I bought some of the newer Marvels to school. Suspense, starring Captain America, was among them. He brought some of the older Marvels to school. Captain America was among them. We stayed after school that day to see some of the other Captain CA mags. He said that Cap is better today, but I think he was better in the 1940s. My teacher, Mr. Nolan Noblah,
Put his name in.
Mr. Noblah, needs a stationary kit badly. Wow. Okay, he stayed after school and read comics. Nowadays, you could go to jail for that.
Yeah, creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy. Mr. Knobloch also told me where to spill the paint.
Here's the response. Bye now, Dick. Your Mr. Noblaw has a complete set of our swinging stationery with your bullpen's compliments, and you have a priceless opportunity to catch up on the Cap's old-time adventures by buying the new fantasy masterpieces on sale now. The Constant Salesman. And thanks for giving us a chance to sneak in another typical meaningful Marvel plug. Boom!
You know, I like that. Even back then, because, we were talking about earlier, like, how they reprint them and put them in books. I guess they've been doing that since the 60s at least.
It's a trick. Well, if you think about it, let's say you missed one or you missed a few. You couldn't pick them up. How else are you going to get them? You can't.
Exactly.
I can't imagine there were many comic book shops
Well,
back
there was
then.
no internet back then.
Oh, yeah, right. Where you
Where
could.
you could illegally download or legally download.
Right. Your words, not mine.
Hey, you can do either or. I would suggest legal, though.
Yes, thank you. This podcast supports legal.
We do not condone
download.
illegal activities, downloading, or anything else.
That's for the powers that be.
All right, well, that was a fairly short Mails of Suspense. I think typically with these, with like Tales of Suspense and Journey into Mystery, these were, and Tales to Astonish, these were kind of shorter, more of a niche market, so they probably kept the fan mail a little shorter on these.
Oh, wait a second. We were complaining we didn't know what the MMS, triple MS did stand for, and it's right here at the top. It's the
Oh.
thing saying it.
Let's see. Let's enlarge this. Let's
So
check
I'm
what this
thinking
is.
it's like a fan club.
Okay, and we're going to show a picture of this too. Okay, actually, maybe I knew this already. Okay, there's a picture of the Thing, and he's pointing a la Uncle Sam, and he says, "Who's the wise guy that's holding out? The MMMS still wants you." And he says, make out a check or money order for $1 to
$1.
MMMS Marvel Comics Group. I don't know what that stands for. MMMS.
Hopefully we'll have a.
Let's see. What the hell would that be?
It's a fan club, but I imagine Marvel. I imagine the first word's Marvel.
We're gonna look this up.
Yeah.
We'll know by next week.
Stay
what it
tuned.
is.
Now you have to come listen next week.
You have to. I mean, this is exciting stuff. But yeah, I just love like the Thing is telling kids
His hot dog fingers.
to give them $1.
Hell, nowadays I don't think you can make a morning order for less than $1.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. So basically, we kind of went over Iron Man and Captain America a little bit, how they shared Tales of Suspense. What happens is eventually Captain America usurps till Iron Man gets his own comic, and then Captain America just usurps it. They call it Captain America number 100, even though, like, before it was Tales of Suspense. I don't know why they do that. Like, they did that also with Thor and Journey into Mystery. All of a sudden, and I don't know the exact number. It's like Thor 172 is like the first one where they dropped the Journey into Mystery thing, and it's like I think it was Journey into Mystery a long time before Thor came in. But
I like that
they
name,
just kinda
Journey
insert-
into Mystery.
It is
That's
really
kind of cool. Yeah,
Like, it is a cool name.
I wish I would have came up with it. So.
But okay, well, what we're gonna do next week's gonna be exciting. We're gonna go over one of my favorite classic comics. It's gonna be Amazing Spider-Man issue 14.
Oh my goodness.
The debut of the Green Goblin.
Oh my gosh. It looks like there's a little bit more green in there too.
Yes, with special guest starring none other than the rampaging powerhouse, the Incredible Hulk. So stay tuned. Of course, we'll be mostly just reading the fan mail at the back. We'll show pictures.
Right. If you want to read the comic, go find it.
Yeah. Go. If you want to read the comic, go fuck yourself.
Whoa,
No, I'm
the
just
podcast took a left turn.
I keyed.
You get angry. Well, whenever you see the Hulk, you get a little angry.
Well, that's my secret. I'm always angry. But yeah. Anyway, just check us out online.
Hopefully we'll have
this posted later this week.
Right. Hopefully we'll get the. I don't have internet, and I know it's hard without internet. You need to upload to iTunes and the other places. So hopefully we'll get those.
Yeah, we're still working on
Yeah.
this. I mean, for right now, our last one was a YouTube podcast.
Sensation.
Yeah, a YouTube sensation. We're gonna try to get this uploaded on the Podcastosphere or whatever.
Right. We'll get it there because I know I don't listen to. I like listening to podcasts in the car and when I'm at work. So once we get that up and ready, you guys will be the first to know.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for giving us those 38 views. We really appreciate that. Hopefully next time we can get up to 40.
Oh, that's a goal. You have to set goals for yourself. So.
Yeah, at least 2 more every week.
Every week.
But okay, so next week will be this is episode 2. Next week, episode 3. This is James and Enrique signing off.